Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Man United defender Rafael Varane not looking to leave for Saudi Arabia. Manchester United defender Rafael Varane is not looking for a move to Saudi Arabia amid his limited playing time this season, according to L'Equipe. The World Cup winner has been a regular on the bench this campaign. He was initially in the starting lineup but lost his place to Harry Maguire following an injury. He was reinstated into the starting 11 recently, but was absent against West Ham United at the weekend. Eric Tanh mentioned that he was unwell for the game. L'Equipe now revealed that the Frenchman's entourage have dismissed the prospect of him pursuing a big money move to Saudi Arabia in the near future. The £42 million signing has had a tough campaign with fitness issues, but he is said to be involved on a daily basis and has been advising his young teammates. Ten Hag made a surprise decision to drop Varane in favor of Harry Maguire earlier this season. The Dutchman hinted that the former Real Madrid man was not good enough from the left centre-back role and chose to pick the likes of Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw. Varane proved the manager wrong with a man of the match performance in the same position against Liverpool this month, but he was back on the sidelines for the West Ham trip. The defender's current deal expires at the end of the campaign, but United have the option to extend for another year. The club are most likely to activate the clause in the coming days. His future will most likely be decided during the summer. If he impresses and stays unscathed for the back end of the campaign, the club could open talks over a renewal. Otherwise, he could be sold. Man United want to keep Victor Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the long term. Lindelof, who is currently injured, had put in commanding displays at the business end of last season, as well along with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who managed to reclaim a place in the first team after a torrid first half of the season. Lindelof has been linked with moves to Serie A, but the Sweden international is keen to remain at Old Trafford, and it seems the club also thinks likewise. Lindelof's contract ends next summer, with the club holding the right to trigger a one-year extension, and as per transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, United want to keep Lindelof for the long term. Romano said, "With Lindelof, 100%, they want Lindelof to be part of the project in the present and future, so I am sure they will try to proceed as soon as possible." Bissaka looked certain to leave when the Dutchman first arrived, with links with various fullbacks emerging, but his displays post the Qatar World Cup forced the manager into a U-turn, and he even evicted Diogo Dalot from the first 11, and it seems the former Crystal Palace star is also set to stay. As for the fullback, United want to agree a new long-term deal instead of triggering the option, the same as they did with Diogo Dalot last term. Romano said about Bissaka, "At the moment, a new deal for Wan-Bissaka is still being discussed because they wanted to offer him a long-term contract and not just trigger the option. It's similar to what they did with Diogo Dalot less than a year ago. They had a chance to trigger the option, but they decided to offer him a longer contract. The conversations are ongoing with Wan-Bissaka." Eric Ten Hag praises Man United graduate Willy Cambuala ahead of Aston Villa clash. Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag has heaped praise on Willy Cambuala ahead of the Premier League clash against Aston Villa at Old Trafford tonight. The Red Devils have dropped down the league table over the past few weeks. The club have picked up just 1 point from the previous 3 outings. They will be aiming to return to winning ways against the Villains later today. Ahead of the game, Ten Hag had plenty to say in his pre-match press conference. One of the topics was on Cambuala, who had a good debut against West Ham United after debuting in central defense for the absent Rafael Varane. Ten Hag said that he was very solid in his senior debut for the club and has a very bright future. He added that he was very pleased with his performance. The manager said via manunited.com, I think he has shown he has the capabilities. I think his performance was very solid. You can see he has a very bright future. Of course, he has to work on himself, but you can see his potential, and we are very pleased, I think, with his performance. United had a big defensive crisis last week, with Varane being ruled out with illness. Cambuala started in central defense and produced a credible display despite the 2-0 loss. The 19-year-old started confidently against the Hammers with an adventurous run forward. In his 84 minutes, he had 92 touches, completing an impressive 75 passes. The 6 feet and 4 inches ace looked composed at the back and did not have much to do on his side. He is likely to return to the bench tonight, with Varane anticipated to make the 11. Varane produced a world-class performance against Liverpool at Anfield with 15 clearances. He also won 100% of his aerial duels and controlled the proceedings. It was unfortunate that he was absent for the London trip. United will be hoping that the Frenchman can produce a similar defensive showing against an informed Villa side. National team manager believes he knows how to get the best out of Man United star. Scotland manager Stevie Clark believes he knows how to get the best out of Manchester United midfielder Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay's future at Man United looked far from certain when the summer transfer window slammed shut in September. West Ham United had a £30 million offer for the 26-year-old midfielder rejected, according to the Manchester Evening News, but the academy graduate remained at the club. Since then, however, the midfielder has exploded into life, netting vital goals not just for United but Scotland too. However, he has struggled for consistency recently and has led to fans becoming frustrated with the midfielder. One man who may have to take the majority of the credit for the midfielder's emergence as a goal-scoring midfielder is Scotland boss Stevie Clark. In an inspired decision, the former West Brom manager pushed McTominay further forward and to good effect as the midfielder has netted 7 times for his national team in 2023. Clark explained to Sky Sport when asked about McTominay's goal scoring the following: "Obviously, I would be lying if I expected. We had a chat with Scott before the campaign started, tweaked his position and allowed him a bit more freedom to get forward on the pitch, and suddenly he was scoring goals. It was great because we are a team who really quite a lot on goals from other positions. The way we set up is for the striker to help the midfielders score goals, but it was good for Scotty. He had a really good campaign. I think his performances for Scotland turned a few heads at Manchester United, and credit to Scott, he has got back into the Man United squad as a first pick." Man United interested in signing Atalanta defender Giorgio Scalvini. Manchester United are one of the top European clubs interested in signing Atalanta defender Giorgio Scalvini ahead of the January transfer window. The Red Devils were linked with several marquee central defenders last summer, but a deal did not materialize due to the lack of transfer funds. United were hoping to offload Harry Maguire to accommodate a new signing, but the former captain decided to fight for his place under manager Erik Ten Hag. The club continue to be linked with options to bolster their backline, and Alfredo Pedula claims that Scalvini is currently on the radar of the Red Devils. Both United and Real Madrid appreciate the qualities of the youngster, but barring sensational surprises and crazy offers, Atalanta are unlikely to sell him. The Bergamo outfit have postponed any discussion over his future until the summer. The 20-year-old is regarded as one of the best young central defenders in the Italian top flight. He has been brilliant for Atalanta this season, with an average of 2.1 tackles, 2.1 interceptions, and 2.4 clearances per game, alongside 5.6 ball recoveries. The Italian has also been strong when it comes to duels and has won an impressive 68% of his aerial challenges with his tall presence at the back. These are qualities which will have impressed United, but he still has room for improvement with his distribution. He has a passing accuracy of 81%. Back in November, it was reported that Atalanta could sell him to United for around 50 million euros, but the price tag could be higher for a mid-season departure. United may not afford him this winter. With financial fair play concerns, the club may prefer a loan deal with an option to buy, which Atalanta are unlikely to accept. Joshua Zirkzee has climbed to the top of Man United's January striker list. Man United's 2-0 loss at the hands of West Ham United was the fourth game in a row where Erik Ten Hag's side have failed to get on the score sheet. Judging by the lack of service the wingers have offered to Rasmus Højlund, it's easy to see why the Dane has failed to open his account in the Premier League. Anthony and Alejandro Garnacho have been disappointing, while the 20-year-old striker is also raw and needs support, something Anthony Martial has not managed to provide. United need additional firepower up front, and if the Frenchman ends up leaving, the Red Devils will certainly try and get a replacement in. The club has strongly been linked with a move for Serhou Guirassy, who has been in scintillating form in the Bundesliga. However, recently it came to light that Stuttgart star might have his eyes on a move to Tottenham Hotspur. Timo Werner, Youssef N'Syri and Benjamin Sesko have also been mentioned as potential incomings, and the Sport 1 journalist Christopher Mitchell has added a brand new name into the mix. Joshua Zirkzee of Bologna has emerged as a surprise target after an excellent season in Serie A, notching 8 goals and 4 assists from 16 starts. The journalist said, Serhou Guirassy is not a Man United transfer target. Instead, Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna has moved to the top of the wish list. He has scored 7 goals this season. However, Bayern also has a say in the matter. They have matching rights, a buyback option of around 22 million euros, and a 50% sell on share. The Netherlands under-21 international moved to Italy from Bayern München after failing to break through after spending 5 seasons in their fabled academy. The 22-year-old did score 4 times for the Bavarian Giants and won the 1920 treble, but never really looked like establishing himself in Munich, and Bologna snapped him after 2 loan stunts. Whether such a complicated deal can be agreed in January remains a concern. If the Bavarian side decide against activating their buyback clause next summer, a move can be realistically possible. Man United director tells fans what to expect in the January transfer window. Man United director John Murtough has warned fans that it will be a quiet January transfer window. If there is any club in the Premier League that needs reinforcement right now, it's Man United. The Red Devils are currently sitting in 8th place in the Premier League table. They have already been knocked out of the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. Only a top 4 finish this season would come as a success for the club, but even that is looking unlikely considering their current form and shortcomings in the squad. Football director John Murtough spoke to the fans forum and revealed Man United transfer plans. He said via The Athletic the following: Looking ahead to the January transfer window, we are not expecting it to be particularly busy. There will always be the possibility of deals around the edges of the squad, particularly in terms of finding opportunities for players who are not playing as much football as they would like. However, we've always been consistent in saying that we do not see January as the optimal time to do business, and our recruitment strategy remains focused on summer windows. We have seen this season that financial fair play rules have real teeth, so we have to be very careful to ensure that we remain compliant, and we will. But that means being really disciplined on spending going forward with a balance between incomings and outgoings. Sir Dave Brailsford and Jean-Claude Blanc to start at Manchester United next month. As the dust settles on the confirmation of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Manchester United, the thoughts have turned to what happens next. While Sir Jim has yet to take control and there are a few steps to go before he does, that won't be the only change. The People's Person recently reported that John Murtough is also set to leave his position at the club and his replacement should be on the agenda. Meanwhile, the Telegraph reports that a replacement for former CEO Richard Arnold is all set to start at the club next month. Jean-Claude Blanc and Sir David Brailsford, two of three people Sir Jim has installed in the board, will take over their responsibilities next month in the first step of the major executive shake-up. Blanc has long been tipped as the favorite for the CEO job, with his status as the CEO of Ineos Sport making him a natural candidate for the role. Sir David Brailsford has also been an inseparable part of the Ineos body, with his insight into the sports department proving valuable to teams under Sir Jim's umbrella. Brailsford is expected to undertake a full audit of the club's personnel, and some major decisions can be expected on the sporting side when they assume charge. The first step might well be the start of the hunt for United's new director of football, with Dan Ashworth mentioned as the top candidate so far. Beyond that, the future of manager Erik Ten Hag is also expected to come under scrutiny, especially if the recent skid in results doesn't stop. With the process to arrive at Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake taking almost 13 months, the hope is that the time before they start working isn't exceedingly long as well. The January window will come too soon to make major changes on the pitch, but the changes should begin in earnest from next month onwards. The majority of United fans would argue that the latter are needed with more urgency anyway. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.